Jai Hind to all the future officers. Today, we will be studying about the difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile. So, firstly, talking about the ballistic missile. Ballistic missile follows a free fall trajectory or ballistic trajectory or a parabolic path. What does it means? Gentlemen, if you see in the picture just below, you will find that there is a launch site from which a ballistic missile is launched. The ballistic missile, after it gets launched, it crosses the atmosphere and it goes into the space, which means it crosses all the layers of the atmosphere, troposphere, stratosphere, all the layers of the atmosphere, and it goes into the space. And then in the space there is no gravity, so it goes against the gravity, it goes in the space, then it again comes as a parabolic, it follows the parabolic path and it comes down from the space and enters the earth atmosphere once again, and then hits the target under the influence of the gravity, which means as the ballistic missile enters from space to the earth atmosphere again, it comes under the influence of the gravity, its speed increases and it hits the target. So this is the ballistic trajectory or free fall trajectory, and ballistic missile follows a parabolic path. So these are intended for use against ground target only. So generally it hits the target which are on the ground. This missile is only briefly guided during the initial phase, and most of the trajectory is unpowered and governed by the gravity and air resistance. So gentlemen, once the target is set in the ballistic missile, it cannot be changed. For example, in the below picture, you can see from launch site, the ballistic missile is launched. It follows the parabolic path, it crosses the atmosphere, it goes into the space, again it enters the atmosphere, it follows the free fall and hits the target. Suppose the target is set before launching, and if the target moved or target is just moved from the place where it was earlier when the target was being set, so the ballistic missile would hit that place, will not hit that particular target, which means once the target is set, then ballistic missile does not change its path. Okay, so example of ballistic missiles are Prithvi, Agni and Dhanush missiles. Okay, so other thing, these are powered by rocket motors. So ballistic missiles generally uses rocket motors which have their own oxygen which operates the motors, and in the space they guide the missile to follow the parabolic path. So in the below pictures you can see the Prithvi missile is there, the second missile is the Agni missile, and this is Dhanush missile. So you can see the ballistic missiles are big missiles, they carry big warheads and they travel to a huge distance. Okay, so gentlemen, now we will be studying about the cruise missile. Cruise missile aerodynamically guided that remains within the Earth's atmosphere. They fly at approximate constant speed throughout its flight. Gentlemen, now again I have attached this picture just below it. Now in the red path or the red dotted path, you can see it is the path of the cruise missile, and above it the blue path was of ballistic missile. Now of the cruise missile. Cruise missile never goes out of the Earth's atmosphere. It remains at the height of 15 to 20 kilometers from the ground, and once the cruise missile is fired, initially it follows some of the parabolic path as you can see, then it goes straight or parallel to the ground and then it hits the target. So it does not follow any huge parabolic path like ballistic missile. Initially it goes up straight, then it just turns and moves parallel to the ground, and then it hits the ground target. Okay, and it remains in the constant speed throughout. They have better accuracy and therefore are used against high value target at long ranges like ships, bridges, dams and communication centers, capable of traveling at supersonic speed and powered by economic jet engines. Gentlemen, jet engines are the engines which take air from the surroundings and then they convert into the oxygen to run the missile. Okay, so the jet engines functions like this. On the other hand, I have explained you about the Rocket engines are generally used in ballistic missiles because rocket engines have their own oxygen inside them, so they guide the missile in the space where there is no oxygen. Okay, and jet engines take the oxygen from the surroundings, because jet engines are set in the cruise missiles, and cruise missiles are in the atmosphere. They doesn't go out of the atmosphere. So that's the thing about the cruise missile. One more thing about the cruise missile: once the target is set, cruise missile automatically changes its target. What does it means? Suppose I have set a target on the ground just before the firing, and target has moved from one point to the other point. So cruise missiles has the guiding system installed in it. So wherever the target has moved, the cruise missiles would hit it automatically. It was the vice versa in the ballistic missile. Once the target is set, whether the target has moved to another position, the ballistic missile would hit the original set point of the target. But cruise missile will follow the target, and it will hit the target wherever it is once the target is set. So this is the difference between ballistic and cruise missile. They are cheaper, more mobile. Mobile means they are more lightweight, accurate and versatile, which means they are more accurate, they are lightweight, they are not much heavier than like ballistic missile, and therefore they are lightweight, so they carry less warheads as compared to ballistic missiles. Okay, so these are the examples of cruise missiles are BrahMos, Shaurya and Nirbhay missile. This is BrahMos missile, then second is the Shaurya missile, and the third third missile is Nirbhay missile. Another difference between ballistic and cruise missile is that ballistic missile, as they follow the trajectory of the free fall. Okay, so as they follow the free fall, or as they fire under the influence of the gravity, fall under the influence of gravity, their speed is very much higher, which means their speed is around 24 Machs, which means 24 times the speed of sound, around 24,000 km per hour. Their speed is this. Okay, so an intercontinental ballistic missile can strike a target within a 10,000 km range in about 30 to 35 minutes. So you can see their speed is very much fast. Talking about the cruise missiles, their speed varies from 1 Mach to 3 Machs. Okay, so more 3 to 4 Machs is the maximum speed of the cruise missiles. Okay, so around 3,700 km per hour. So this was the major difference between ballistic and cruise missile. Okay, so I hope you understood this small topic which is asked in the SSBs, and hope to see you soon. And if you have any comments, do comment them in the comment box. Thank you and Jai Hind.